morning, crafters. I hope that you've had a wonderful week and that you're ready to do something creative. Today is Woodgrain Day, so even if you don't have the supplies that we're using for the whole month of September, you could just grab a sheet of Woodgrain pattern paper and join in and scrap along with me today so that you can just grab any old collections from your stash or your scraps. As long as you've got a Woodgrain sheet in the background, you should be able to build along with me and get something done and have something complete in your album, and that would be great. Or you can just listen and or heckle if you're here live. But, you know, it would be great if you want to scrap along. That's what I'm here for. It's all good. All of those things. Right. Let's get to the desk and look at all of the things that we've made in September so far. It has been a colorful and layered month, and there were some questions on the Facebook group that have led me to want to count up how many photos we have used so far this month. So we started at the beginning of September with this special page that has something from every collection I designed for American Crafts with 2 photos. Then we had a 3-photo page here with some older stash showing how we can make a kit from what we already have in case shopping is not on the cards this month. And that has 3 more photos, so we're up to a total of 5. Then staying with that, oh, sorry. Hello? Hello? Why am I so groggly? Hold on, 2 seconds. All right. Is that going to help? This wasn't happening to my voice before we went live. Okay. A starburst and 2 photos here, so that brings us up to a total of 7. 2 photos here with stuff that is from the kit. We've got the Simple Stories Book Fair collection, and that brings us up to 9 photos so far. Then a 4-photo layout, whoop, whoop, so that brings us up to 13. And that has lots more from the Book Fair collection as well, but the background is actually from Jen Hadfield. And then 2 more photos from Monday's starting point. So where were we? That brings us to 16, right? Yeah. So lots of little collages in this one. Oh, I need to remember. It now will not do that weird refocusing all the time, but it means if I pick it up to show you a close-up, that's not going to work because it's just going to be blurry. So pardon me, my brain while it relearns what we're doing here. That I've got a hard focus set on the desk. So we have made all of that in September so far, and today we're going to pull out the Woodgrain to make a new page there. Come here, Woodgrain. It's evading me. There we are. Okay, so we have that. And I'm going to cough a bit more to see if I can clear my throat. What is this weirdness? Hello, hello. Oh, that feels so much better. Huzzah. I was really getting scared there for a moment that I would have to do the whole thing going, which is not pleasant or healthy on your vocal cords. So, vocal health. When you have to talk for your living, you need to be able to keep those cords healthy. All right. Georgia wants to know, how high am I standing on Facecam? I'm just standing at normal height, but the button to change the cameras is in the middle shelf of my Raskog. So when I first reset the desk like this, I had the switchboard stuck to the side of the Raskog, and this worked for a little while, but the switchboard gets hot. Not super hot, but like it warms up. And eventually that took the adhesive that was sticking it to the Raskog on like command strips and went, nope, we're done. And it just crashed to the floor in the middle of a live stream. I thought, oh, that's not good. So instead it lives on the second shelf, which I could just like lean out of shot, but it's just cleaner to bounce down. And because every once in a while I lean and then I guess which button I'm doing, and I'll hit the wrong one and I won't realize. So it's just safer now that I'm a jack in the box. It's Shimelle in the box. Beep. Up I come. Yeah, there we go. Nikki has FOMO for the October supplies. I know I'm not going to be able to scrap much, and I'm trying not to drown in unused stash. I have to build a kit, but I do have leftovers from previous ones. That's very sensible scrapbooking, and I want you to use the things you buy, so it's all good. Definitely. Okay, so we are going to be starting here and have a few different sets of photos. So We could do, oh, I thought I picked up this envelope that had, oh, no. Okay, hold on. I've picked up the wrong set of pictures. Those are for class. Don't use the class photos here. You'll be all out of whack. Also, I have a very special announcement, but it's going to be silly because I didn't ask if this person wants to be named. And so sometimes I talk to people who are out there in the community watching, but I don't say their names because I haven't thought to go, do you want me to tell everybody that? Anyway, we have a new baby in the community. A little baby boy that was born on Monday. I think Monday. Yes. But I haven't asked if they want to be named. So I'm not naming them. But can we all just have a collective yay? Because there's a new baby in the audience. And that is always wonderful and happy to know. And I'm glad they are home and healthy and fabulous. And I can't wait to give them a squish. You know, a very calm and polite squish. But squish! Maybe not calm. Gentle, yes. Calm, no. Okay, here's what I was thinking. I know Woodgrain. So I have these options. So I have a bunch of shots that were taken not by me. These were all during different points in his run. And in fact, you can see how much his hair grew from the start to the end. That's his first, I don't know if it's first show, but it's right at the very beginning. And this is the end. It's way down his back. So anyway, so I have these lovely shots from a fan, which is really sweet. Or I have a single photo to do with a whole bunch of journaling. And so I'm wondering, because I was going to go with this, and then the question came up on the Facebook group about, is Shimelle just somebody who scrapbooks one photo? So that's why I wanted to look to see what I've done, because it's like, I don't think that I've done a single photo one lately, and I hadn't. All of my September pages are multiple shots. So we've got this sort of option. I'm wondering, do I have like an older photo I could put with us to do kind of like a then and now? Let me see what's in my random photo drawer, if there's any chance that we're in there together. Because that would be cool. But I will say sometimes I scrapbook the single photos because that's what I've got. We took one picture, I've printed one picture, you know? So that is also okay. Those are December and not her. Do I have anything in here that is her? I have this little stack of kind of random things, so I'm just going to flip through in case there's something that would make a then and now kind of picture. But please do let me know your opinion if you're going, I actually know I really want to see you scrap any particular thing. Okay. They're not the same people. Oh, I wouldn't have those necessarily printed either. I just thought, because Cassie in this picture, we've done a Disney trip together, so of course we have a gazillion photos together from that. Oh, what is the voice doing? But, I wouldn't necessarily have those printed in my desk here. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to design it with one photo, but also leave a space that makes the potential to turn it into a 2 or 3 photo layout. And I might print something later to make it a then and now layout, because I kind of like that idea, but I haven't had that idea until we were live, which is, you know, poor idea planning, but that's how creativity works sometimes. So let's do this. All right. I got a plan. Sandra's like, one photo and lots of journaling from Joanna. Sandra's like, can you do multi-photos? Sandra, what do you think about an option that gives one photo or multi-photo? Because I think that could be cool. So let's try it. Oh, Georgia likes the idea. She feels like doing a grid of lots of pictures. The most she's ever done is 12 on an A4 page. Boop, 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 boop. Pen and snap. One photo and lots of journaling. Nikki says, can we have a mixed orientation? Nikki, you know that if I have one portrait and one landscape, I scrap them the same way every single time, honey. Yeah, I'll show you really quickly. It's the same thing. I just reinvent the same design. It's all good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, now this is an interesting size because I took it with my phone and then just printed it and didn't realize I'm trying to figure out what that stands for, and I think it might have just been a typo rather than an abbreviation. Okay. It's 16 by 9. I just printed it, not realizing that it was phone aspect ratio rather than normal camera. So normally if I take something 16 by 9, I then crop it to 4 by 6, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do is cut 2 boxes this exact same size. So I'm going to cut another one. And that is going to be where I can then put in a second picture. So let's do that in what color here? What have I got? Just get a scrap of like white or cream or something like that. Don't need to cut into anything fancy. Oh, here. Since we're doing wood grain, I will do it this one. Okay. Me. Let's break this down a little bit because your request is quite specific, but it is something that I did for many years. So I'm going to ask you first, is there something that makes you feel like you can't scrapbook because you're single? Because many people here will know I was literally confronted with that fact. The words used to me were, if you're not married and you don't have kids, what do you have worth putting in a scrapbook? And plenty. If you are doing things that you enjoy, then you can scrapbook it. So here's what I'm going to do today. This is representing a second shot, but if you want to do this design with just one photo, you can just fill this with journaling. Are we good? All right, so that's what I'm going to be working with. So it'll be a 2-photo page. I could do 3. You know what? It's a different ratio than normal. Let's do 3. And this feels weird to do with the trimmer. I'm not sure why I did it with the trimmer. Okay, so we're gonna have 3. Yeah, so you definitely have every right and reason to scrapbook, so I want to get that out of your head straight away. But yeah, you got loads of people in the comments who are still that box. No, not single, or not married and no kids to scrapbook, that they're scrapbooking their own life. It's not a strange question at all, Joanne. It's a really normal question, but I hate that there's still a stigma around it. I hate that there's still an idea that people would say, oh, what's the point of scrapbooking if you don't have kids? I scrapbook lots of pictures of my kid now because it is part of my story. I'm going to change camera because you need to know this. Because there's the same sort of discussion that I get going, and there are plenty of discussions that I'm not in, that I'm referenced in, and I don't mind, whatever. Where people say, oh, I liked her better before, or she was a better scrapbooker before she had kids. And it's that they get tired of seeing the same subject in my photos, and that's fine. But here's why I do it. It's not because I have some need to show you my kid all the time. Although I am very proud of my kid, and that's okay. You're not going to take that away from me. But his story is my story at this point in life. My story is doing the things that I can to raise an awesome kid. And if you are a mother and you are scrapbooking your children, for anybody to say that that's not a part of your story is just as condemning as anybody going, oh, well, you don't have anything worth scrapbooking. So there's still photos of me, and today I'm doing a photo of me with a friend. No kids involved. But part of the reason that you see me scrapbook this part of my story, the parenting part of my story, which means lots of kid photos. And sorry, you don't even get any variety because I've only managed one kid. So that's it. That's all you get. But the other half of this is I have dozens of albums that I made before he existed. So I have told all these stories. So it's not that I have anything against them. I absolutely love them. I've just already been there and done that. So lots of things that you can scrapbook, and I hope you will scrapbook, and I've just already done it. So keep in mind that almost all of the Glitter Girl series is before I had a child. Right at the very end of Glitter Girl on the 2-piece channel, I mean, Glitter Girl was scrapbooking, and I don't know why her hands were getting puffy in each video and she was getting out of breath, but coincidentally, I also had puffy hands and I was out of breath because I was just about to have a baby. But there you go. Everything before that, which is quite a lot of videos because Glitter Girl was every day, or every week. I mean, every week for 2 years, really, before 2 years? Almost 3? I can't quite remember. I think definitely 2 before I did mom stuff. Okay, so there's lots of that, and I was scrapbooking before Glitter Girl, obviously. So yeah, if you want to come up with just different things to scrapbook, do you want me to do some sort of like an ebook where I go through and say, here are 25 different things that you could scrapbook in single life because you're just at a block of what stories to tell? I can totally do something like that. But if you're ever showing up going, I don't know if I can do this because I don't feel like my story is worthwhile. Honey, your story is worthwhile. I am glad you're here and you have done cool stuff in your life. And even if you haven't felt like you've got to the cool stuff yet, your story is probably pretty interesting. You might just still be in your origin story where you're fighting through the crowd. Either way, is the story worth telling? Yeah, it's just what part of the book are you at? That's all. All right, so I can't do this and read the live chat, so I'm going to do my speech, and then while we're putting this page together, I'll go back through the live chat for various highlights that need to come out because I could see the live chat going da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, so hi, my name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime I scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure you are aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my #advertising. I appreciate you being here, whether you are live, chatty, watch from Tomorrowland, quiet, crafty, not crafty, all of it. You want to pick up a new craft, we are here for you. And in the description box with this video, you will find links to all the things that you might need. That includes the classes I teach, and there's one going on right now that has just started last week, and now would be a great time to join it. In fact, there's a live stream for that today, and also a lesson that's uploading while we do this. So, yeah, so there's plenty going on there. It's called Just Joy, and it's all about different compositions, photo ideas, journaling, color combinations, all these different things that make me very happy, and finding the things that make you happy so that you can go away a scrapbooker who has lots of creative energy and joy and is aware of the things that will bring you up and not down. Cool? So that is that's the first link you'll find there. If you keep going down, you'll find different classes that I teach. You'll find the supplies that I'm using this month, that's September. Next month, that's October. And if you're shopping through those affiliate links today, if you use the code FALL, F-A-L-L, you get 11% off your whole order no matter what you're ordering. So if you need adhesive, you need page protectors, you might want to stock up while you've got 11% off. Yeah, you remember things like Papios and whatever else that you keep forgetting. Adhesive refills. It's a thing I always forget. Yeah. Caroline says, My Freedom, which is a really old class, but it might be of interest to a singleton. It is still available. It's ancient, but still available. It would just have very different supplies than what we have now. But I mean, different, meaning labels and things. Like, we just wouldn't have all the stuff that's brand new. You would still see me use the stuff I used then. I just would also have more current things. Yeah. So there we go. All right. Enough of this camera. Enough of my face. Let's get scrappy. So what do we got? Right. Yes, Sherry is here. She is single and childless and does lots of exciting things. She might not even say so, but she does. Not in order to scrapbook, but you know, when we're scrapbookers, we're always doing cool things going, yay, let's, Joanna, I need to send you those. Yes, sorry. Yes, let me do that today. Sherry says, she has albums about friends, travel albums, pets, past photos of her childhood, dance, nieces, nephews. Yes, all that cool stuff. That's all part of your story. Yes. Kelly's local shop runs a Book of Me class, which is fabulous. You might even want to get a hold. There is an actual paper book, and I mean, I'm on the cover, but that's kind of weird. I didn't write it. I was just a guest artist in it, and they picked my layout for the front cover, and I did not know it. It's on the campus at Pittsburgh State, where Jolene, who's quite often here, her son goes to school. So there we go. So that book is literally called The Book of Me. It's by Angie Peterson, and it's an older book, but you'll be able to find like older copies floating around. So that might be useful if you kind of would like a paper version of something that just has lots of things to read about what you could put in a scrapbook about yourself. All right, so we're doing a layout that could be one photo, could be 2 photos, could be 3 photos. So I think I'm going to put 2 more photos on. So these are going to be 2 more pictures. But there we go. Right, let's see what we have in here that we have not cut about. All right, so we've got, we have already done a Starburst, but we could mix these 2. Or we could mix Woodgrain with collage. So if we go with the Starburst, I'll probably put this with it. So do you want to go, let's have a poll. Collage or Starbursty? Add to the Woodgrain. Collage or Starburst? Start. So we're looking at, do we add something like this to the Woodgrain background? And we go with this really bright and quite graphic designy kind of look. Or do we look at this and pull these 2 things together, so then we have something that's a lot more kind of natural and organic rather than bright. A lot more neutrals going on here, okay? So those are your options. This one or this one. So, oh, it's pretty close. What do we have? What do we have? All right, while you're voting, I'm going to scroll through this chat. Oh, Sherry says if she had my kids, she would be scrapbooking all the pictures, all the pages. Right. Me says, this is a really good question. Okay. So me, who originally asked this question, also, I don't know if that's how we pronounce your name, the way it's spelled out. I could have just given you a nickname that you don't have. If I have completely renamed you, I'm really sorry, and please feel free to put me right. But anyway, she says, I don't know what I'd find important when I'm married with kids, for example. So the thing I'm going to tell you here is worry less about that. You know that I have this set amount of albums I can have because we set out our house with the set space. It holds 82 albums. So when I am working on stuff, I am often going back through older albums and going, do I really need all of this? Especially from the era when I was working for magazines, because I did like crazy amount of pages that were made for assignments rather than things where I was like, oh, you know what, I would like to scrapbook today. I was, filling editorial gaps, which is fine. It was my job at the time, and I enjoy what I made there. But sometimes I look back and go, oh, okay, this is not actually a story that I need to tell, or it's a story that I've told multiple times, and it's not so worthy of keeping, like it's done its purpose. So I will purge layouts like that, but from many, many, many years down the road. So we're talking about, in 2003, I happen to make 6 different layouts with pictures of nothing but my coffee, and I probably only need 4. Yeah. So my advice would be, anytime that you are starting to tell a story about you right now, tell it. Do not worry about it and just do your thing. And then years later, if you go, actually, I'm over that, I don't need to keep that, it's fine. Yeah. Don't try to, justify each one. I enjoyed making all of those pages. And in fact, when I was working for magazines and doing things for assignment, I really enjoyed that job. It was very fun for me. So it's not like I look back on those pages with regret. Not at all. But now I can go, oh, okay, I've kind of overtold this story, and I maybe don't want to save quite that much space for it. And I know it's the time to let it go because it doesn't pang at my heart. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm done with that. And you can always take a photo of it in case there's some reason at some point in time that you would like a digital copy of it. By the way, I definitely recommend taking photos of your layouts, even if you're not going to share them with anybody. Somebody who you may have come across in the scrapbooking community lost her whole home in a fire last week, including all her albums. Thankfully, she has kept lots of photos and a very active social media presence for many years now. So I think she probably has pictures of most of her layouts. But as you can assume, when you see something like that, we all have the different thing in our life that when we look at a house that has been destroyed, and every different person will have something that they think of. Like people who their whole life is about pets, they'll be like, did the pets get out okay? And scrapbookers will go, did all your albums burn? And these things can happen. Take a picture and keep it on a cloud somewhere so it's not just in your house. It's not a bad thing. Okay, let's actually scrapbook. Okay, you've all gone this collage. No, you haven't all gone. 67% of you have gone collage. So we're gonna go collage. All right. Now, I'm going to pull out that die cut pack that I got late. It was supposed to be for last month, and I got it out late, but it goes with this, doesn't it? So let's put these to use. Okay. So, yes, very heartbreaking, and I do hope, again, I'm not naming because I don't know. I mean, it's on her Instagram, but I don't know how much she would want us to reference her. But I do hope, if you see this, lovely, when you are ready to rebuild and refurnish and all of those things, please say something to the scrapbooking community, because I have a feeling we got your back. And although we cannot help with finished albums, I bet you we can help rekit a scrapbook room, don't you think? So don't stay quiet. I mean, obviously, let your house insurance do its job, but I think we can help as a community. Okay. This paper in particular already has a sort of kind of, wow, great design terms. A fade here from the collage. Because this is a digital collage, it's quite interesting because you're not getting the same effect that you would if it had been paper torn and cut on another piece of paper. But that's what we're going to do with it, okay? So here, it just kind of fades out. And you get a little bit of kind of transparency where the grid starts to show through this dot, and then it's all grid or it's all dot. Yeah, but here we go. Right, I'm going to try to tear basically along that effect. It's easier than I thought. Hey, we'll take that. Yeah. Oh, me says I'm good to pronounce it that way. Yay. Okay, so we're going to have a page that starts like this, okay? But we've got this collage bit over here too. What do we think my tearing luck is? Can I do twice? Let's find out. Oh. So we then have, that can go there. Well, let's just for fun try. try to do this one too. Maybe this one goes down here, but also maybe not. Okay? Nikki, I've often wondered that, yes, but I have a feeling that the insurance people who deal with things like that also have just heard it all before, don't you think? So Nikki wonders, like, if you have to make a claim for a scrapbook room, like several hundred sheets of paper at £1 each, can you imagine somebody reviewing that and being like, yeah, right, like paper costs £1. But they will have seen everything. Like, they will have seen somebody's model train room. They will have seen someone's quilting room. They will have seen many a musical instrument and wondered how something that can fit in your handbag can cost that much money. Yeah, I mean, obviously jewelry is also very small and expensive, so I suppose that's a bit more normal. But rare books and things like that, like, they must have seen it all before. So to just be like, well, this was my hobby and these are my supplies, I think is probably something where they go, okay, let's start. Okay, let's start here. Oh, Lego. Jolene's like, yeah, the Lego, yes. Oh, and Georgia could just print off all her Hey Little Magpie orders. That's probably not a bad idea. So let's go across here with what could be your choice of 1, 2, or 3 photos, and then that many journaling boxes. Yeah? Okay, but this is going to need a nice big mat around it. Oh, and we're going to have some red for that because we got red here. And we're going to pull out some things from this gigantic journaling die cut set. Oh my goodness. That was meant to be an August top-up, but it arrived for me mid-September because I was silly. It's no fault of any shop. It would... Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Sorry if there was just a little blip. I got a little offline message there, but it went away before I could even click to the next window to see what was happening. Oh, goodness. Nikki, we're all reading that going, legs? But we think you mean Lego. Oh, are we? No, focus is there. But there was a little YouTube blip. The connection blipped somehow. But yeah. Nikki typed that both Nikki and her husband lost all their legs in a fire. Oh, that's a photo, Shimelle. What are you doing? But what she meant was Lego. I mean, there we go. That's something the insurance company would also be going, sorry, are we talking about Lego or are we talking about prosthetic legs? I'm imagining both are very expensive to replace like for like. Definitely. Okay, so we're going to do a mat with these 3 blocks. And the mat is then a color to match the collage paper. So I'm doing red, but if you're choosing something from your stash, choose whatever matches your collage paper. Why is one of these bigger? Yeah. Okay, how much extra? Okay, also, I know some of you are going to get bothered by the fact that this is 2 lined boxes next to each other, and the lines don't match up because of where I cut it on the paper. But keep in mind, for me, these are holders. I'm going to print different photos of us and put them in these pictures, so that, or in these spots, so that actually this becomes a 3-photo layout. All right, and then we shall trim this down. Okay, so now I have this big box where I can have 3 photos or any number of other things. Let's go ahead and stick these, but I'm going to keep the adhesive away from the torn edge so that if I do end up wanting to add things underneath, which I probably will, I can. So I'm actually placing them back into the place where they were on the original page. So you could probably just use this same page design on just the collage background and not add the wood grain. It's okay. You can do either. Oh, I've taken this a little too long, so I will cut that at the end. Okay, then we're going to have this go across like that. Jolene says, the mix of scrapbooking and Lego would just blow an insurance company's mind, an insurance agent's mind. Like, what? Your hobbies were what? I suppose when you have a hobby that's like known for being super expensive, like you have horses or a boat, then the insurance company just sees that in the heading and is like, oh boy, okay. But Lego and scrapbooking, I feel like would be more subtle. You're like, oh, they're just, you know, living a nice, average, ordinary life. Wait, what? What do they have here? So, you know. Okay, so we're going to take other colors from the collage now. So I'm pulling out this yellow. And I need to add more journaling space because I'm not using this as journaling space. It's gonna be more pictures. So we're gonna put this up here in the open space. What else do we have in this pack that has a similar color? We've got a little pocket. It would work if I didn't want a photo there, but I kind of do. But I'm going to show you what it looks like. Sound is glitchy today. Hold on. Let me reset this in case it's just moving. So you could do a little pocket here and put stuff inside. Is there a third little piece in that same color? Yeah, there's a couple. So maybe I put some extra pictures in a pocket. Now, this is really thick paper. So I don't know if the pocket is going to hold with my normal adhesive. I'm going to start with my normal adhesive because it's repositionable. And if I start in with super sticky double-sided tape, I can't go back on this choice. But if I do it with repositionable, I can. So I know that the size is a little off. It's going to work once I print out more photos. Okay, I should have inked that top edge before I put it down because now it looks too bright. Okay, and then a third spot somewhere, which is going to end up under here to bring that color in a third time. This one, these two. No. One or the other. I think it's just on its own. Okay, that's definitely not going to stick with repositionable. Oh, Laura says, sound that was glitching, go out and come back in. It may have, when the signal blipped for a second, it may have messed up the sound and it's not matching up with the video, so just go out and come back into the video. So this is definitely going to have to be double-sided sticky tape, but I just want to make sure that I have it right. I don't think I want to adhere that until I have all the photos and stuff in place, especially if I want to overlap there. Okay, this one's going to come down here, and I think this one's going to go over the collage piece. Let's bring it this way so that we get a triangle effect there. That the photo then is in the zone of that triangle. Boop, boop, boop. It's not very square at all, Shimelle. It's wonky. Okay. All right. Are we all feeling cool so far? Now, oh, that's like a whole flowery thing. It's a whole journaling card. We are not using those. We do not have room for giant things now. No big honkin' die cuts. We do not have room for that. Okay, just let me see the little things, please. Oh my goodness, there's so many big pieces. Okay, let's pull out yellow, pink, and red, and green are in this background paper. So we're going to pull out anything in those colors, and we're going to put the rest away. I don't think that green works. Binder clips, bulldog clips, I mean. Okay. It's pink, red. Okay, I'm getting to little pieces. They were down here. Okay. We got tabs, got labels. We got all these little word pieces. What do we have? Simple pleasures, all the possibilities, you belong. Feed your soul, beautiful moment, something fun. Do all the things. I love that Vicky puts that in her collections all over. It's cute. New beginnings. Tiny details. Okay. All right, we got enough little things now that we can make some sort of progress. Oh, yay. Nikki can see True Stories now, and she's enjoying that journaling. Yay. True Stories is before I had a Munchkin, and that's all journaling. So all of the examples there, all of those examples would be pre-children. Yeah. Well, my whole life is pre-children. I'm just pre-child. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. I want to bring in that pink because the pink is pretty subtle, but it is there. Also, I find this collage really interesting because this side, I would think that that floral goes the other way, but the text goes this way. So it's a choice of which way are you reading is more important. Do you want the flowers to go the way that the flowers look like, or do you want the text to go the way the text looks like? I've gone with the text, and because they're from the same paper, then I feel like I can't do one right way up and one upside down. But I do feel like these strawberries are defying gravity. And we can sing about that if you want, but I did not come prepared, and you've heard the gargle in my voice today, so I think that's dangerous. Okay, let's bring the pink, and then bring it up to this side. So I don't want to put it here because then I'm kind of losing the bit that's already quite collagey, and I want to be adding the collaged elements to what isn't collaged yet. So we're going to put this one on the side here. By the way, I had a big tidy up of my desk, and I have definitely taken my tiny attacher, the little stapler, to an audition and then not brought it back. I need to go through all the bags I could have taken to an audition and find what little pocket, because you know when you put something in your bag that you wouldn't ordinarily put it in your bag, you put it in like one of the little safe pockets, right? But then that's where you won't see when you empty your bag. So somewhere, some bag that I have taken to an audition has a little secret pocket, and inside lies a teeny tiny useful stapler. Because they're really useful at auditions, because you often have to fill out some paperwork. Sometimes you have to bring a photo and all this sort of thing. It's not like the old movies, because most of the application will be online, so you don't always need a photo. Back in the day, you had to bring like this double-sided thing that was one side was a whole page, like 8x10 glossy photo of your headshot, and then the other side would have your resume. But now all of that is submitted before all digitally. And quite often you don't have to bring anything, but sometimes you have to bring stuff, and then sometimes you don't bring anything, but you fill in stuff while you're there. And anyway, sometimes it'll be like, you need to staple this, and people are looking around the room going, I need to staple this. And I'll be like, da 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 da, I have a stapler. And even if there's already one stapler on the check-in desk, having two staplers in the room, does make things easier. So I quite often am passing around a stapler. I am always very protective of my stapler, so it does come home with me, but I have put it in a special pocket. I know I have. So I need to find which one. All right. So we're going to go pink there. Then we can decorate on top of this pocket. So let's go over here. Bring that pink across. We could bring, this label doesn't come in red. Blue, green. Let me use the cheat sheet on the back so I'm not searching for something that doesn't exist. No, it does not come in red. Oh, wait. No, that's just a different pink. 2 shades of pink, which I've got. Okay. Not a red. Okay. Do we go with that? Okay. Give up on layering those two. I don't like them together. But those two I like together, I think. Oh my goodness, Joanne did that with her engagement ring. She cried a lot, but then she found it a week later. I'm so glad it turned up. Oh, how nerve-wracking. Your poor heart must have just been stress city. One of the worst feelings I always find is the feeling when you think I've lost something, but I don't want to tell anybody yet because maybe I can work it out and figure out where it is. And it's like you're keeping a secret and the lost thing. For whatever reason, those two feelings compound in my brain and go, nope, we are melting down right now. So, nope. Not good. That did not stick to anything. What on earth is happening here? This paper. It's different than this is thicker than even their normal cardstock. So, and also kind of I don't know how to describe this feeling. It's almost like it's so matte that there's kind of like a really fine, it's not like a powder or a dust, but it kind of feels like there's something there and there's not. I don't know how to describe it without sounding like I'm being negative, and I'm not. It's not a bad feeling. It's just different. Sorry, I'm going to stop trying to put words on it because the words I'm trying to put on it are sounding totally wrong. Okay, what we really need here, though, is like a little floral piece that comes out from behind here. So let's look at what is left from the paper. So nothing from here. Okay, useful. But let's bring that in on this piece. Now I want to pull it all up. Jolene says the missing tiny attacher sounds like a Glitter Girl problem. Glitter Girl, I need a stapler. Can you help? Yes, I can. All right. Sorry, things that were hard to adhere. I'm pulling you all. Oh, well, they have stuck to each other now. That's good. Okay, so we're going to take that little strip that I originally thought might go down here at the bottom. It's not. It's going to go across here instead. And then this on top of that. Now, the floral doesn't go kind of how I might have imagined, but also it's okay. The torn edge is is doing the same sort of effect of having an organic shape next to all the boxy things. Now, this definitely needs enamel dots because I will not be able to cope with the idea that, that there's just holes there. So where are the dots for this kit, or do I need to grab a different color? Oh, I know exactly where they are, which is to say, I dropped this little basket where I had I have the puffies, the enamel dots, and all the die cuts. I knocked it over completely. And I went and picked up most of the, there's the puffies, okay. I picked up most of the die cuts, but I've just realized I did not find the puffies and the enamel dots because that wasn't what I was looking for. Okay, so there's puffies. Does that mean the enamel dots have gone to the same spot? That would be too easy, wouldn't it? Don't drop your stash on the floor, yeah? There's a line in Rent about that, but it's a different kind of stash. Okay, let's just get some dots that will work. Probably as soon as I turn the camera off, I'll go, oh, there they are. It's okay. Got a set in this kind of color. Yeah, those will work. Okay. Jolene says the random rubbish today it's pretty varied. It's pretty wild. Okay, so I need little ones to go along the edges here. That pale one there. Yeah. Oh, I know, it just wants to jump up, but I don't want to put the super sticky on it until I put that photo in. Okay, so this is going to be many photos. I can put a photo here, and then I can put as many pictures or memorabilia or journaling cards into that pocket. Now, do I want to then do that? I think I do. So we'll do the medium one here, and the large one here. And we have the pink going all the way through that way. Nice. Okay, these are probably too much the vibe of the other set of supplies we could have chosen. Yeah, so not planning to use those. We've got a little pink on a diagonal here now. And we have a sticker sheet this month, but it's school themed, right? So let's see if there's anything that would work there, but I'm going along with the idea that maybe not, but let's still have a look. Where are you hiding? Paper, paper, paper. Yes, not stickers. It's because it's the same size. It'll just have got mixed in with the paper. Where? There it is. Yep, in between two sheets of paper. Okay, so this is what we have here. Now, for something different. So there's favorite subject, and you know ordinarily I would just leave this because it is favorite with the American spelling, and also I don't know, unless I do like a survey journaling kind of thing and have him write down what his favorite subject is, I might not be using that on a school layout anyway. But we went back to choir this week. Tuesday was the first time back in choir since the summer, and we sang You'll Be Back from Hamilton, which was, you're my favorite subject. Yes. But it means favorite subject in a completely different way. But I might need that sticker there. Okay. Da 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 da. Is there anything that works here? I mean, that floral is not as far removed from this as you might think. So I think at a push, you could make that work. I'd kind of like to make something like this work, but it's not a have to. Looking at yellow, pink, and red here. Yeah. I thought there might be something that would work because we actually met in a school. But I'm not seeing it. Why is school supplies here twice and they're both yellow? Should I use the pink that says, way to go? Georgia is still upset about the punctuation or the capitalization on school. Okay. So shall we put this one over here? Oh, for crying out loud. No, it doesn't quite fit. Let's just do it as a separate layer here. I see you. Stop having attitude, little pocket. Okay. We need to bring the pink and the red to these other spots. So let's bring the pink down here. We're just going to ignore the misbehaving pocket. It's like the naughty child in the class. We'll come back to you when you've had a moment to think about your actions. That was not like a child in the class. Just the first part. Okay. Any little pieces from here? Just need to bring the red. Oh, Jean thinks that this is coming from a certain era of cursive handwriting. There are different styles. That's why you can tell what generation somebody is from by looking at their handwriting. And Jane says some schools definitely had an era where the capital S looked like a small s, but just the height of the top letters. So that would be what's happening there. Goodness me. Did they not know they needed that little curl at the top? Now, I didn't think I was going to like putting the harsh line on top of the torn line. But I don't dislike it. But do we like it better that way? That way. Okay. Because remember, this is my actual journaling box. Make that match. Jean says, this is the look at me child. Look at me. I'm going to jump up off the page again. Anybody who joins in the middle will be like, why is she not just using normal adhesive? Use the right adhesive for the job. I will, but I can't yet because I need to print a photo to go here. Okay. Tab that up to the top, I think. Let's just build up, up, up. See you later, Nikki. Nikki reminds you to thumbs up if you're enjoying this. Thanks. Okay. So if we go back to this and look at some of the neutral elements, I'm wondering if we could take one of these frames, not the clips. If we could take one of these frames and kind of mix it in order to get a bit more collage feel here. You know what else we could do? There's a little bit of inking. Oh, because Sherry needed me to get some ink daubers out. Boopers. Everybody, can we say the word D-A-U-B-E-R, dauber? Sherry would like to hear it in every accent possible. Now, I'm deciding to ink at the worst possible time, when everything is basically done. And I'm using a brush, not a dauber. Just come here. It's fine. Just a cloud, a messy, messy cloud. Just fade it. That little glow. That's all I want. Should I have thought about it before? Yes! Did I? No. That's how creativity works sometimes. It's okay. Don't blame yourself. You can blame me. It's fine. I can take it. I can take it. Little glow. That's all we want. Little glow. Need a little more glow over here. So the glow looks more natural. Okay. Blend it out, because it's looking blotchy. We don't want blotchy. All right. What order was that going in? That was going here. With this behind it. And that one's going, no, it was underneath, wasn't it? Yeah. Here. All right, and then just to make this corner even grumpier at me, a little fade over here. I'm going to fade onto the collage paper because I did it a little bit by accident and I really like it. So I'm going to do it by not accident. Okay, which means I then want to take it up here. Look, the yellow on that paper is gorgeous. So this is scattered straw, if you're wondering. Let's just go right over the top. Yeah. I'm just going to add some color. I like that so much better. Only thing I don't like is that this got too blotchy, so let's brush it out. Brush it out. Okay, that's it. Then I'm going to put the gold on now. Normally that means I'm done. It does not mean I'm done, but I'm going to do the gold and then find what else I want to add. Hold on. Do this first and then the gold. What would I be without repositionable adhesive? Nothing, I tell you. Because guess what? Picking that up again. Makes me like the inking even more. So one frame into 3 areas of embellishment. Yeah, this one down here, which is going to end up upside down a little bit. It's okay. Oh, come on. There Now the gold. So most concentrated in the areas where we added the most ink. Yeah. Now I could even hear it that time. Why is it giving me that little line? I don't like it when it makes a line. But the answer is more. If you can get it to stop making a line, then you just come in and put loose dots where the lines were. Now, this composition then gives us the option to use currently as the title or to add something else as the title. Where would you put your title if you're adding more? So you could build it right here because you've got a nice horizontal line for it to fit on. Keep in mind, if these are going to all be photos across here on your page, then you need to keep as much writing space as possible. But you could also write straight onto here, straight onto there. So if you do need to run the title all the way across, then what if I just place it like that? I think that's actually going to annoy me more. It's the fact that it's moving that's bothering me so much. Okay. So yeah, you could use this whole line if you need to, but then you're going to have less journaling space on this card, but you could journal here and here if you need to. Joanna says, this is lovely. She voted for Starburst, but she's really glad I went with the collage because it's a different way of using the 49 and market papers. Yay, I'm glad it's helpful. Now, I want to add a little bit more, but I'm out of things that would match in the kit. So I do need to stash dive at this point. And I think what I want is some good old sassafras layering stickers. So they live here. Let's see what collections would coordinate, because that's not a bad match. Nor is that. Oh, I have all the ones that are a good match right here together. That even has the red. Okay, but now I'm into, like, not that. Okay, so let's see here. So you could stop here. Should I do a little screenshot of this one? I don't like that it's multiple clicks now. I need to see if there's a way to take that back to the old setting. So you could stop there, or you could layer more things into the collage. I like this one best, so let's start here. So I could take this and chop it in half to bring part of it up here. And the other part, I really wanted something red and warmer in this group because I just had the yellow and the pink. So let's take the floral into there. So kind of adding an orangey red. I like to put something in the middle here. Oh, these have kind of a wood grain element to them. Not even kind of. Yeah, let's bring the brown wood grain to the foreground by putting that on there. And then layering this little cloud in so it doesn't feel too graphic, because that's a cleaner design than everything that we've got so far. Okay. this is a nice match to that background. So let's put that in there. And we've got 1, 2. Is this a medium size? 3 dots here. Three little circles, take it into an area of embellishment and bounce them around in a similar way to enamel dots, but they will have a different feel. But the same sort of structure. So if you want the photo to feel more included, then you're going to place it up here. If you want the photo to feel more standalone, you're going to place it down here. This needs something a little bit more red. Bring in that floral here and put it over that side. And I can put the other part of it over there. Bring that wood grain from the background to the foreground up here. And then what other circular elements? I've got a little one here and a red and yellowy kind of one here. So let's do those 3. Same sort of effect as here, but with 3 different circle stickers. Like that. Okay, I'm getting there for what I want, but I also realized that you might be going, oh, no, she's lost the plot. It's too much now. That's okay. That's why I took a little screen grab, because for some people, that'll be where you want to stop. And for some people, you won't be near where you want to stop yet. So just giving you some options, just options. Okay. So using the wood grain in the background has just made me wonder, wooden words. Do I have any left? So I haven't kept a lot of them because they're a product that I kept forgetting to use, but I probably have some. If you also have wooden words and you don't remember to use them, this is your reminder. Wood grain background, totally makes sense to use a wood grain word. I'm not finding a lot here. Oh, those are travel themed. That's not what I need. Okay. Is there anything left in the jar that's a word? Yes, it's not spelled right for me. I mean, but you know, this does look really nice on that sort of page. Yeah, it's not the right word for my title. But hey. Oh, and I say hey, and there's hey. I realized that's half a word, but I didn't know if the other half is still here. I know, that seems like a question that I would not have if I didn't use this storage method. And you're right. But, you know, you could put little wood veneer pieces in here for sure. So shall we see if we can grab just a few little stars maybe? Yeah, I got some more of those. I can see them. There they are. So we'll just do 3. Little reminder, if you have wood veneer, maybe revisit it. I saw Hey Little Magpie are doing their own wood veneer now, so that might mean we get more British spellings on wood veneer. If you're a fan, but you like the OU combination. All right, 1, 2, 3. So when you've got like one last set of things that you want to add, have a look with it sitting off the layout and give yourself a little reality check of what's going where. So this is going to be my journaling. This is going to be another photo, and this is going to be a stack of photos and things in the pocket. And then the pocket will get adhered properly with super sticky double-sided tape. Remember this stuff. I have it in multiple widths. It will hold it. No questions asked. So I've got, a little grouping up here that's happening, a little grouping that's happening here, a little grouping that's happening here. Where do I want to particularly maybe add more if I go to a completely different place? So I could do this, but then that is taking what wasn't really an embellishment area. I would say 1, 2, 3 areas of embellishment, and this is just a little small accent. But if I start adding this in, now I've got 4 embellishment areas. So I don't really want to do that. I want to keep this triangle. So you could add 1 to each. Like that. Or you could put all 3 in one place, or you could go back and get 6 more and have 3 groups of 3. I kind of like it like this. So we are going to have a star here. And I'm going to overlap them all. What I would say is look to see, can you either overlap them all or have them all be in the open space? Do one or the other is usually your best shot. Now, that's a rule that certainly has exceptions. It doesn't mean that sometimes I do 2 things that are touching and 1 thing that is not, because that's the balance you need on that particular layout. So please don't take that as a hard and fast rule, but it can help guide you. All right, so a layout that could have 1 photo, 1 journaling box, memorabilia, 2 photos, memorabilia, journaling up here. We know. 1, 2, 3 photos, no pocket. 1, 2, I've forgotten what options I've given now. 2 photos, memorabilia, or more journaling. You could do any number of combinations here, yeah? I'm going to print out another photo here and then print out some random bits, other photos, I think, but possibly also notes or memorabilia. Let's see what I've got that I could stick in there. But I was thinking she was one of my bridesmaids, so I could do a picture from way back then, and then I could do a picture on a Disney trip and have that kind of all the 3 different points in time. Yeah, something like that I think would work. Right. What do you think? If you've enjoyed this, do you want to give it a thumbs up? I'd be super duper awesome. Thank you to those of you who already have. I really appreciate it. And also, I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad that you came to spend some crafty time with me. If you decided to make a layout while I was scrapbooking today too, I'd love for you to share it. You can put it on our Facebook group, which you can find in the description box. You could tag me on Instagram or wherever else that you like to post, or you can just keep it for yourself. That's fine too. But please, try not to be at all concerned about your scrapbooking. If you want more people to scrapbook or find more people who scrapbook, then we got to say that we scrapbook. So don't be shy about that. You can tell a friend that scrapbooking is fabulous and you enjoy it. Yeah, whether that's in real life or on the internet. Either, totally fine. I'm so glad you could join me. If you are also doing Just Joy, I will be live for you at 2 o'clock, and you'll find that in the class forum, and you'll also find lesson 3 there shortly, because once I click off here, I'm going to go get that all set up for you. So you shall have lots to watch. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I shall see you again at 1:30 p.m. In the afternoon on Monday. 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Yes, that's what that means. And let me take a little look at some examples and give you a little Facebook post over the weekend maybe about scrapping when single, and see what I can put together in just a little small thing with some links and maybe pictures of older pages and things like that that might give you a hand, but also don't let anybody tell you that you're not worth scrapbooking, because you are, and everybody here in this live chat, including me, is going to say you are, even if we don't exactly know what you're up to. We just know it. It's okay. I think that's everything. If you're not in a class, come sign up. It's in the description box. It's called Just Joy, and we are just getting started, so it'd be lovely to have you along for the ride. See you very soon.